Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chill English Channel, where learning English feels calm, natural, and enjoyable. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake. We're really happy to have you with us today.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. If you're here to improve your English and feel more confident speaking in real-life situations, you're absolutely in the right place.
On this channel, we help you speak clear, natural English for everyday conversations, work situations, and social life.
Before we start, please remember to like this episode and subscribe to Chill English Channel. Your support really helps us continue creating lessons like this.
Yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate every like, comment, and subscription.
So Jake, what are we talking about today?
Today's topic is very practical and very important. We're going to talk about how to talk about your job in English.
This is such an essential topic, whether you're meeting new people, traveling, attending a job interview, or just making small talk. Someone will probably ask you about your job.
Exactly. And many English learners feel nervous when this question comes up.
Yes, they know their job, of course, but they don't know how to explain it naturally in English.
That's why today we're going to make it simple and stress-free.
We'll teach you useful questions, natural answers, helpful vocabulary, and common mistakes to avoid.
And of course, we'll practice together, step by step.
Sounds good. But before we begin, Jake, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, actually. I had a productive morning and a strong cup of coffee. How about you?
Coffee always helps. I'm feeling really good too. I'm excited about today's topic because everyone can use it.
Same here. Okay, everyone, let's get started.
Let's begin with the most common and important question related to jobs. This is usually the first question people ask when they meet someone new.
Exactly. And that question is,
What do you do?
what do you do? Very short, very simple.
And very natural. Native speakers use this question all the time. You might also hear, what do you do for a living?
Yes, that's correct. But what do you do is more common and more casual.
Some learners ask, what is your job?
That's not wrong, but it sounds more formal and less natural in everyday conversation.
So if you want to sound relaxed and friendly, what do you do is your best choice.
Okay, now comes the next big question.
How do you answer?
The simplest and most natural way is, I'm a plus job title.
For example, I'm a teacher.
Or I'm a designer.
Or I'm a nurse.
Simple and clear.
You can also add a little more information if you want.
Yes, for example, I'm a teacher, I teach English online.
Or I'm a nurse, I work in a hospital.
This extra information helps the listener understand your job better.
Let's give a few more examples.
Okay, I'm a chef, I work in an Italian restaurant.
I'm a software developer, I build mobile apps.
I'm an accountant, I help companies manage their finances.
Notice something important here.
We're using very simple language.
Yes, you don't need difficult or fancy words to describe your job.
Clear English is better than complicated English.
Now let's talk about a common situation. What if someone doesn't have a job right now?
Good question. That's very common, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
You can say, I'm looking for a job.
Or, I'm between jobs right now.
Both are polite and natural ways to say you're not working at the moment.
And what about students?
Students can say, I'm a student.
And then add, I study at university, or I'm still in school.
For example, I'm a student, I study computer science.
Or, I'm a student, I'm studying to become a doctor.
Very natural.
Okay, Sophia, let's practice quickly.
Great idea.
I'll ask you the question. Ready?
Ready.
What do you do?
I'm a teacher. I help people learn English online.
Perfect answer.
Now my turn. What do you do, Jake?
I'm a content creator. I make educational videos and podcasts.
Very clear. See, everyone? It doesn't need to be long.
Exactly. Just be clear and confident.
Now let's talk about different types of jobs.
There are so many jobs in the world, but we'll give you some common categories.
In healthcare, you might be a doctor, a nurse, a dentist, or a pharmacist.
In business, you could be a manager, an accountant, a salesperson, or an entrepreneur.
In technology, you might be a software engineer, a web developer, a data analyst, or an IT specialist.
In education, you could be a teacher, a professor, a tutor, or a school counselor.
And in creative fields, you might be a designer, a writer, a photographer, an artist, or a musician.
There are also service jobs like waiter, receptionist, barber, or security guard.
And skilled trades like electrician, plumber, mechanic, or carpenter.
Everyone listening, think about your job or your dream job.
How would you describe it in English? Now, let's move to another very common question.
Where do you work?
Or, where do you work exactly?
There are a few different ways to answer this.
First, you can talk about the type of place.
For example, I work in an office.
Or, I work in a hospital.
Or I work in a school.
You can also talk about the company.
I work at Google.
Or, I work for Microsoft.
Here's something important.
We say work at for a specific place.
And work for a company or a person.
For example, I work at the city hospital.
But I work for Dr. Smith.
Perfect.
And many people work from home now.
Yes, you can say I work from home or I work remotely.
Very common these days.
I work from home most of the time.
Me too. It's very convenient.
Okay, now we know how to say what you do and where you work. Next, we'll learn how to describe what you actually do at your job every day. This is where many learners feel stuck. Now we're going to go deeper and talk about what you actually do at your job.
This is very important because just saying your job title is often not enough.
Exactly. People usually want to know more details.
They might ask, what do you do there? Or what does your job involve?
And this is where you can really practice useful English.
So, Sophia, how do we describe what we do at work?
We usually talk about our responsibilities and daily tasks.
Responsibilities is a big word, but the meaning is simple.
Yes, your responsibilities are the things you are expected to do as part of your job.
In other words, the duties that are your job.
Exactly. A very common sentence pattern is, my main responsibility is to, plus a verb.
For example, my main responsibility is to teach students.
Or, my main responsibility is to manage projects.
You can also say, my responsibilities include, and then list a few things.
For example, my responsibilities include answering emails, organizing meetings, and preparing reports.
That sounds very natural and professional.
Let's give some examples for different jobs.
Okay, if you work in customer service, you might say, I help customers solve problems. I answer phone calls and reply to emails.
If you're a sales manager, you could say, I lead a sales team. I set targets and track performance.
If you're a graphic designer, you might say, I create visual designs for websites and advertisements.
If you're a software developer, you can say, I write code and fix bugs. I work on new features.
Notice something important here.
We're using simple verbs like help, make, create, manage, and work.
You don't need advanced vocabulary to explain your job well.
Simple English is powerful English.
Now let's talk about who you work with.
This is another common topic in conversations.
People may ask, do you work alone or with a team?
Or, how big is your team?
If you work with others, you can talk about your colleagues or coworkers.
A colleague or coworker is someone who works with you.
For example, I work with a small team.
Or, I have 10 colleagues in my department.
You can also talk about your boss or manager.
For example, my manager is very supportive.
Or, I report to the marketing director.
If you are the boss, you can say, I manage a team of 5 people.
Or, I supervise staff.
What if someone works alone?
Good question. Some people don't have coworkers.
In that case, you can say, I'm self-employed.
Or, I'm a freelancer.
Or, I run my own business.
These phrases are very common, especially today.
Yes, many people work independently now.
Okay, now let's talk about working hours and schedules.
This is another very common conversation topic.
People often ask, what are your working hours?
Or, when do you usually work?
You can answer by saying when you start and finish.
For example, I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Or, I start work at 8 and finish at 6.
Some people work shifts.
Yes, you can say, I work the morning shift.
Or, I work night shifts.
And some people have flexible schedules.
In that case, you can say, my schedule is flexible.
Or, my hours change every week.
You can also talk about whether your job is full-time or part-time.
Full-time usually means around 40 hours per week.
Part-time means fewer hours.
So you can say, I work full-time, or I have a part-time job.
Now let's practice describing a typical workday.
This is great practice for fluency.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I usually wake up at 7 a.m. I have breakfast and get ready. I start work at 9. First, I check my emails and plan my lessons. Then I teach classes in the morning. After lunch, I prepare materials and answer messages. I finish work around 5.
That was very clear and easy to understand.
Thank you. Now your turn.
Okay, I wake up around 8. I make coffee first. Then I start working at 9:30. In the morning, I write scripts and plan content. In the afternoon, I record videos or edit. I usually finish around 6, but sometimes later if I have deadlines.
Great example.
Notice how we described our days step by step.
And we used simple present tense.
That's all you need.
Now let's talk about something very important.
What you like and don't like about your job.
This is a very common conversation topic.
Someone might ask, do you like your job?
Or, what do you like about your work?
Let's start with the positive things.
A good way to answer is to say, I really enjoy or I love.
For example, I really enjoy working with people.
Or I love the creative freedom.
You can also talk about your coworkers.
I like my colleagues, they're very friendly.
Or the environment.
I enjoy working in a quiet office.
Or, I like working outdoors.
You can also talk about benefits.
I like the salary.
Or I appreciate the flexible hours.
Or, the vacation time is good.
You can also talk about how your job makes you feel.
For example, my job is rewarding.
Or I feel proud of my work.
Or, I feel like I'm making a difference.
These are very meaningful expressions.
But let's be honest.
Not every job is perfect.
Exactly. So how do we talk about things we don't like?
The key is to be polite and professional.
Instead of saying, I hate, use softer language.
For example, I find it challenging.
Or, it can be difficult sometimes.
Instead of, I hate working overtime, say, working long hours can be tiring.
Much better.
You can say, the workload is heavy.
Or, the commute is long.
Or, sometimes communication is challenging.
These are honest but polite statements.
Now let's talk about career goals.
People often ask, what are your career goals?
Or, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
This question is very common in job interviews.
You can talk about your ambitions.
For example, I'd like to become a manager.
Or, I hope to start my own business.
Or, I want to develop my skills.
You can also say, I'm happy where I am right now.
That's completely fine too. Not everyone wants a promotion.
And that's okay. Next, we're going to talk about common mistakes people make when talking about jobs in English.
All right, everyone, let's continue. Now we're going to talk about common mistakes people make when talking about their jobs in English.
This part is very important because small mistakes can change the meaning.
Or they can make you sound less confident than you really are.
And we don't want that.
Exactly. So let's start with a very common mistake.
The first mistake is using the wrong verb tense.
Yes, when you talk about your job, you usually use the present simple tense.
Because you're talking about something that is true now.
For example, you should say, I work as a teacher.
Not, I am working as a teacher, unless you want to emphasize something temporary.
Another correct example is, I work in an office.
Or, I manage a small team.
Simple present is your best friend here.
Another common mistake is saying, I am engineer or I am teacher.
Yes, this is very common for English learners.
In English, you usually need an article,
So you should say, I am an engineer.
or I am a teacher.
But you can also avoid this problem by saying, I work as an engineer.
That's a great trick.
Another mistake is translating directly from your native language.
This can cause strange sentences.
For example, some people say, I work like a manager.
But in English, work like sounds like you're comparing styles.
The correct sentence is, I work as a manager.
Small word, big difference.
Now let's talk about pronunciation. Job-related words can be tricky.
Words like engineer, schedule, and colleague.
Colleague is a fun one.
Yes, it's pronounced colleague, not colleague.
And schedule can be pronounced two ways.
In American English, schedule.
In British English, schedule.
Both are correct. Choose one and stick with it.
Now let's move on to role plays.
This is where everything comes together.
I'll be the person asking questions.
And I'll be the one answering.
Let's imagine we just met at a party.
Okay,
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too.
So, what do you do?
I work as a marketing specialist.
Oh, interesting. What does your job involve?
I create marketing campaigns, analyze data, and work with clients.
Do you work alone or with a team?
I work with a small team of 5 people.
Do you enjoy your job?
Yes, I do. I really enjoy the creative part, but sometimes the deadlines are stressful.
That sounds very realistic.
Yes, no job is perfect.
Now let's switch roles.
Okay, your turn.
Hi there, what do you do for a living?
I'm curious now.
I work as an English teacher.
Nice. Where do you work?
I work online and with language schools.
What do you like most about your job?
I love helping students gain confidence. It's very rewarding.
And what's the most challenging part?
Sometimes explaining the same thing in different ways.
I understand that.
See how natural that conversation sounds?
And notice how we didn't use complicated vocabulary.
Clear, simple English is enough.
Confidence comes from practice, not big words.
Now let's give our listeners a simple structure they can use.
This is like a formula.
Step 1, say your job title.
Step 2, say where you work or who you work with.
Step 3, describe your main responsibilities.
Step 4, say what you like or find challenging.
Let's put it all together in one answer.
I work as a software tester. I work for a tech company. My main responsibility is to test applications and report bugs. I enjoy problem solving, but sometimes the workload is heavy.
That's a perfect answer.
Clear, natural, and confident.
Now let's talk about practice tips.
Because listening is not enough,
You need to speak.
even if you speak alone.
Yes, practice in front of a mirror.
Or record yourself on your phone.
Listen and notice where you can improve.
You can also write a short paragraph about your job.
Then try to say it out loud without reading.
That's a great exercise.
Another tip is to prepare answers to common questions.
Like, what do you do?
Where do you work?
Do you like your job?
When you're prepared, you feel calmer.
And more confident.
Before we finish, let's remind everyone of something important.
Making mistakes is normal.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Even native speakers.
The goal is communication, not perfection.
If people understand you, you're doing great.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode.
We talked about how to describe your job, your responsibilities, your workday, and your goals.
We also covered common mistakes and practiced real conversations.
We hope this episode helps you feel more confident talking about your job in English.
If it did, please support Chill English channel.
Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes.
Like this episode if you found it helpful.
And share it with a friend who's learning English.
For today's question, tell us in the comments, what do you do? And what do you like most about your job?
We'd love to read your answers.
Thanks for listening.
Keep practicing.
Keep speaking.
And keep it chill.
See you next time.